Hello everyone. The first 3 lessons of this STEM ALP package for the Sec 1s will cover spherification, or previously known as the making of the alginate gummies. So here are the lesson objectives. So each week we will be doing a different activity, so there will be 3 activities altogether. Okay, so have you tried Mr. Bean lychee pop? Or frozen yogurt topping? So all this bubble like thingy are your alginate gummies. And now recently there's a craze with edible water bottles, so encapsulating water and bottle in a bubble instead of your conventional water bottle. So to understand better the ingredients for these alginate gummies, you must go to a cold region, somewhere at the beach, like Japan or the UK. So it all starts here. So what is the main ingredient? The main ingredient is brown seaweed, where we get sodium alginate from. And to understand better the concept behind the formation of these alginate gummies, we must go to the atomic level. So what is an atom? So sometimes the atom loses or gains electrons, so it becomes positive or negative ions. And to touch briefly on the science behind this alginate gummies, so the sodium alginate is on the left hand side, and you can see that it's actually sodium ions that are separating the different molecules, and when you add them into a calcium bath, the calcium will displace the sodium and forms a breach or cross linkages between them, and holding 2 or more molecules of this calcium alginate, so to speak, molecules together, that forms the outer layer of the encapsulation. So this is a figure of interaction of sodium alginate and calcium chloride in relation to time. You can see that from 27 seconds, which is the first peak on the top left hand corner, to 15 minutes on the bottom right hand corner, you can see the purple region sort of, the yellow region becomes more prominent and the purple region sort of diminished. So the purple region is actually the liquidy phase as opposed to the yellow region, which is the solid phase, where the calcium chloride forms the encapsulation. So as time goes by, it will become more solid on the outer layer as well as the inner layer. So for this week, we'll do the basic spherification in action. But after that, when we are done with the experiment itself, we'll ask the students to just fill in this few questions on their worksheets. So describe the sodium alginate suspension, what is the formula of sodium ion and calcium ion. So there are some references on the worksheet itself, so they can refer to them. So we'll just flash the answers after that. And also describe the alginate, calcium alginate worms. So let's refer to the worksheet. Here are the materials for the first week's activity. So referring to the procedures, students will be asked to pour 50 ml of calcium chloride solution into a plastic cup and label it Ca2+. So this can be done using a syringe instead of just blindly pouring the calcium chloride solution. So you can measure it with your syringe. And then after that, also using a separate syringe, you can transfer 20 to 30 ml of sodium alginate solution into 2 other plastic cups. And to this 2 cups, we will just drop in a few drops of different colorings, and after that we use a plastic dropper to extract the alginate from the cup and do a dripping into the calcium chloride solution. So students have the option on Stat 5 to explore different ways of making their alginate gummies. And after that, they will use a plastic spoon to scoop it out and place it on a plate. They can feel the texture, they can squeeze it and see whether the inner contents are still in a liquid phase, and then they will be asked to draw and describe their worms or gummies. So they can also experiment with trying to leave the worms or gummies in the calcium chloride bath for a longer time and see whether the inner contents sort of change into a more solidy structure. Okay, so I have prepared alginate solution and calcium chloride solution over here. So I'll be doing a short demo of what the students will be doing. So I have a syringe over here. I will first extract the alginate solution. And I'll do a dripping of the alginate solution into the calcium chloride bath. So students can actually change the speed to make it faster. Of course, they'll be using a dropper as well. So they can, after that, they can scoop it up using a plastic spoon and placing onto a paper plate or a plastic plate. So you can see this gummy that can sort of feel the texture and also describe how it looks like and draw it into their worksheet. Okay, so basically that's all for this week's activity.